Yo. Yo, 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 yo. All right. So I kind of wanted to document a little bit about my league start for the, or at least league progress for the Return of the Ancestors League. I decided to do something kind of obvious, kind of not. Basically, it's a armor stack berserker, but I wanted to league start it, or at least like, yeah, basically transition to it as soon as possible and just kind of see how it went. Sort of a test for 3.29 as well to see because you can potentially do this on champion, right? I think the armor guy on YouTube, Big Daddy or whatever, he's got a video about that. So I want to try and adapt it for berserker and kind of get that going. And it kind of turned out pretty well. Very budget friendly for an armor stacker, by far the highest power you can get. I think even better than champion. On non-mage blood setup, extreme, like pretty low budget. I mean, maybe this is like 50 div or something. Maybe probably less, honestly. At this point, you can get it all for less. Um, and then of course I have mage blood set up. That I want to show off too after, just so you can kind of get the idea of the difference. But you can easily farm your mage blood on this setup, which was pretty nice. Um, so first, I'm gonna just kind of go through my progress. I have Ninja here, and then we can look at kind of day one setup. So I swapped to this on day one. Unfortunately, I didn't want to. I wish it would have like a. Oh, it does. Okay, you can see like hour 12 maybe. Yeah, hour 12 is good. Well, yeah. Okay, this is perfect. Yeah. So I leveled with Ancestral Commander, Earth Shatter, or Sunder into Earth Shatter. I think this is my Earth Shatter setup. Yeah. And I got to about red maps, and then I swapped. Um, and I kind of blitzed through to red maps pretty quick. Didn't take too long. Um, yeah, so this is kind of the snapshot. Basically, it's I mean, you can't level with Armor Stacker really, right? So you kind of have to level with something else. And then I guess by end of day one, I swapped over. Basically, all I really wanted for the swap was a decent armor chest piece, armor evasion chest piece, um, formless flame, Foulborn, just so you don't get the annoying penalty for fire res, right? So it takes off the fire res penalty, minus fire res penalty that it normally has. And then Foulborn Anticipation. I dropped Hounds, but it's probably better not to use this. I kind of used it just because I had it, and I was like, oh, it's flat lightning damage. It's fine because I'm running Smite, right? But honestly, just go like Rebuke of the Ball or something, right? And I actually did switch to that later, because it's just higher damage, higher flat damage. Um, and yeah, you have some frenzy charges, but like the uptime on them isn't great. So yeah. So the key here for the swap was, like I said, Power Anticipation. This gives you a huge amount of defense, right? I mean, already I'm sitting at 65 armor, no flask popped, obviously, no micro distillery belt. My fire res is overcapped, right? I don't know by how much, but it's overcapped by some amount, right? So this is giving me something. But this gives you a huge amount, as you can see, 90, 90, 89, 89, right? So when you blocked recently, you're pretty tanky out the gate. Damage is a little eh. My flasks are kind of whatever, like 2 charges, 3 charges, 1 charge, right? So the uptime on the flask wasn't great, but honestly it did the job. You could clear red maps. It was pretty slow though. I think if you had a better weapon, it would be better. Honestly, just either a rare with better stats, or like I said, Rebuke of the Ball or something, which wasn't too expensive. Um, yeah, day two. I don't know if it shows some changes. I got a 5 link. You honestly, I ran with the 5 link for a while. You basically just want armor, Dex just to help for attributes requirements, and then yeah, fire res, right? And then this is when I picked up Jinx Juju. I'm still running that. Um, it's just a nice amulet. I mean, it's cheap. It gives you chaos res, int, strength, dex, basically all attributes, which you kind of need in the beginning because you're kind of starved for attributes, and you need everything because you want to run wrath, you want to run you got your dex gear and stuff like that. So you kind of need that, and then I picked up this pretty nice micro distillery belt for, I want to say, one div or less than a div, pretty early on. My jewel was just fire res, by the way, a little bit of attack speed. And I swapped this out for a corrupted blood immunity jewel later. But the links, just lightning pen, volatility, multi strike, standard stuff. Fortify. I had fortify until I got lab, and I swapped up. And then yeah, molten shell on cast on damage taken, leech slam for movement. This setup, don't just ignore this. It's kind of scuffed. I was just trying to see if you could do like the melee splash tech. Wasn't really worth doing. And then of course, Grace determination, right? So really, you just want to, and when you path kind of over here, you get enough reservation efficiency and all that. But really, let's see, maybe day 3. No, yeah. So day 4. This is when got a light of meaning just because swapped up my gear. This is probably a better setup. Inspiration, right? Instead, once you get fortify melee hit, and then Paradoxica. This thing was pretty expensive, but I just bought a not unveiled one, unID'd one, and unveiled the stats that I wanted. So you could always do that. There's a ton of fire res, reduced mana cost. Yeah, same belts, better gloves, better boots. Better chest, maybe. Same chest. This is actually the chest I still have, I believe. So yeah, it went pretty well. And then I think at this point now you're talking about pretty nice damage. Um, yeah, my flasks I got 332. I think if we just look at the week 1, actually, just look at the current one in game. So yeah, so now at this point it's like, okay, I've got good rings, just a ton of res basically, and reduce mana costs because you need it. The idea is to basically anoint sovereignty, and then this allows you with enlighten, right, on your wrath, grace determination, to run purity of elements as well, right? So that just gives you ailment immunity and extra fire res, and then helps you. I mean, I'm well overcapped on everything, but yeah. And then 65, 65, well, 68 block capped basically with you know a keystone. And this is kind of what the tree looks like. I swapped over to some clusters. This was pretty cheap. I basically crafted all these myself. It's just basically you're just looking for field of fight here and feed the fury on the other one. And then prodigious defense. This one is pretty easy to craft. You just spam um, maybe attack or speed, something like that, on harvest bench. Same with these. You just alt spam. You just grab. You basically want. Oops. You want item level like, I think 74 or lower. Like on these jewels, you don't want to go item level 75. Basically anything between like 70, 70, 74, I think. Um, yeah, so that you can more easily get this one. Kind of removes like 1 or 2 mods from the pool. Spam those. I got Light of Meaning. This one's Corrupted Blood Immunity. I'm just running Balance of Terror just because I was running some of the farms I was running. I wanted the action speed immunity and I couldn't get it elsewhere very easily. Murder Strength just giving me some aura effect on these 2 nodes. A little bit of cold res down here. It doesn't really matter. Been running RT pretty much the whole time. And yeah, the rest of it is just kind of block cap, a little bit of armor, max life, strength. Strength is good because, it converts. that strength into mana, and then you get armor for your mana. It's not a ton, but it's something, right? Because this just gives you flat armor, so it's not the best, but it does something, right? And it doesn't really matter that you convert a lot of your mana because all the reservations are percent based, so chill. I had the Delirium Bloodline, but there's nothing. I don't have anything on that. And then for this, all you need to do is remove this. Like First to Strike, Last to Fall is not ideal. I'm gonna swap that out. Hopefully, I have actually a couple tattoos saved up, so I'll probably try to roll on those. I've been trying to corrupt helmets to get AoE levels or something like that, just to get more levels on the gems, but I have not done that yet. Basically, what you're looking for is blue, blue, green, red. So you just craft, you just go to the bench and do 2 blue and then spam it until you get 1 red, 1 green. And then you can corrupt it. I've done it a couple times, like here. And on mine, I'm just using one that has high armor roll. Like I said, you could use your Beak of the Vow instead of Paradoxica. If you want, you could also play around with Reeve of Refraction. I have not done that yet because I have my links and I don't really want to mess with that. Yeah, and then these are my old boots, but basically you just honestly the gear is not even that good. For the belt, you're just looking for whatever stats you need. Ideally, max life, armor, fire res, and then this just gives you pseudo mage blood effect right on your flask, and then you just want to get um 3 charges when hit, so that you have good uptime on them, and then just nice suffixes. This one doesn't even have a useful suffix at all, so I'm stun immune with unwavering. Um, yeah, elemental res, evasion drain effect. These already have what I want, like curse immunity, typical mage blood flasks. And then I picked up this one. You can always, you don't swap this one out if you don't if you want, like, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I need to test that. I haven't looked at it yet. But yeah, it's been pretty smooth actually. And I mean, you got to factor in. So in hideout, I'm sitting at almost 400k armor, and when I pop all my flasks, like 7.4, 740,000 about, right? And then of course that's not accounting for some other buffs and stuff like, but yeah, that's basically the setup. So you're looking at, if you say 700,000 armor, but you got to keep in mind that this is basically double Dream Feather, right? So you're basically running 2 Dream Feathers. So normally when you would be running 1 Dream Feather, it would be giving you 1%, right? So you're basically getting double. So even though Champ could probably reach a million armor with this gear, right? You're not getting the same out of that armor, right? So you're getting basically more. And the defense doesn't really matter because if you have max roll on this 12%, it's basically giving you that 90% reduction on everything. So this character can run Simulacrum, obviously. You can tell because I've cleared it, right? It can run, Nightmare Boss Rush, which is what I've been doing too. You know, in fact, why don't we run one, right? So nothing special on the mods. And then let's see. Yeah, so I've just been running like Abomination, just for the frags or whatever. You can run Simulacrum. I was farming that as well. Sell voices and flip personalities on ID, right? And make some profit there. Also, the clusters, some of them are worth, hundreds of chaos each. Very nice. Um, but yeah, you can die on this setup mainly when you don't block, right? Because this effect only applies when you block recently, right? And then of course, if your flasks aren't up, and your armor's low, right? That can be an issue. Obviously, you're not super fast or anything. I mean, I could be going faster, right? Just spamming my stuff. Obviously, you can run shrines and stuff. Pick up the shrine. I'm not going to do that for demonstration purposes, but obviously that shrine would be pretty nice. Let me actually focus this guy first. But I mean, for the most part, like I avoid these chaos blasts, even though I have like decent chaos res. Oh, I forgot to show pantheons. Actually, I'm running Arcali and who's the other one? I don't remember. Shikari maybe? Okay. But yeah, as you can see, I'm kind of just face tanking everything. The only thing I avoid is those, like I said, the chaos explode thingies. And then again, the reason why I have Bounce of Terror is, so I can not get slowed here. And then obviously it's a little annoying because you want to double hit with smite, right? So sometimes you gotta reposition and stuff. Why is it okay? For some reason my attack without moving got turned on. I'm not sure how that happened. But yeah, as you can see here, like you don't want to get action speed slowed by that. So yeah, the Balance of Terror is nice. Obviously, if you just want more raw damage, you can swap that out for a Blue Nightmare. Foulborn one that gives you lucky lightning damage, right? Um, nice. And then, you'll just be doing like double damage almost. Not quite. Actually, yeah, it's more like not quite double damage, but yeah, a lot more damage, right? And then that if you wanted to, you could also kind of squeak some more spell block out of that, but I don't need to. Um, and then you'd also lose the Light of Meaning, right? But you could get spell block from the all res here, and then like tattoo these with lightning res if you want, or something, right? Just to get the spell block. But I mean, you could also just throw it right here for just the lucky lightning damage when you block recently. But it's not super important, right? But anyway, yeah. So this setup can easily farm some pretty good content. You can do these rotas too. I was doing that for a little bit of gold because I'm basically out of gold after buying a bunch of stuff and liquidating some things. But yeah, so yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at for damage. Um, and yeah, it went pretty well, I would say. I played it pretty casual this time around, right? Like I don't know, so I yeah, 3 days, 6 hours. I haven't played the last like 3 days at all, as well. So yeah, you can easily get this setup going. And I've basically been on the same gear for a while. And again, like there are other amulet options too, but this one is just nice. Just as long as you get the max roll on the aura effect. Basically, you just want to be able to anoint. I went with sovereignty just because charisma is more expensive to anoint, right? And it's also less effect. And really, I don't like all I need is the 12%. Like 12% is good enough to let me, use a tincture and my skills, right? Because you have -7, so and you as long as you keep like my frost blinks like level 2, leaf slam level 1, right? Like you're not using much mana. You have inspiration in here, right? So you can get away with 31 mana, and then you'll therefore only need 12% mana reservation efficiency here, and this gives you a little bit more effect. Plus, it's just silver, silver, silver instead of what gold, gold, manic or whatever. Where'd it go? Yeah, yeah, prismatic gold, gold. So this is much more expensive. So uh, basically, budget armor stacker setup. Um, yeah, okay. So I think I bought this one for a lot cheaper, but whatever. On League Start, this isn't too bad. You can also opt for an what's it called? All's Uprising with one of these for free, right? But then of course the nice thing about this is that it gives you chaos res, so it helps you kind of I'm not uh completely capped in chaos res 61%, but then of course, because my pantheons I've got capped on damage over time, right? I'm running Solar Arcali and Shikari as well, right? Just to help with that a little bit. DOT is kind of like the hardest part because this doesn't apply, right? Because it's only from hits. Uh, yeah. So DOT is a little annoying, but you get bleed immunity here, right? You get corrupted blood immunity here. You get ignite immunity here, right? So you know you're not dealing with too much DOT. Some of the Fizz DOT can be annoying. Uh, Even though your armor, it doesn't really do anything right against DOT. But yeah, so that's kind of the setup, and it's been pretty good. The other thing too is you could also opt for invert the rules here. I just went with pen because I'm already getting a good amount of pen anyway, right? Paradox gives 16. I've got tincture, another 18. Um, I've got lightning pen, support, 34, right? So and then if implicit on gloves for 12% exposure, right? Um, yeah, and then strikes. You could get this up to 2 strikes and then maybe drop this, but this is giving you a little bit of damage and strike range, which is pretty nice too. And it also counts for, light of meaning, giving more armor percentage. So it's not bad to take this wheel. And again, you have the points for it. Like I'm level 95. And I could be higher, but I didn't really grind for XP. But yeah, and then you could honestly, I don't think I need this intelligence. Maybe I do for some of these, right? Like Rats 155. So yeah, I might need it actually. So I could get away with it probably. But but yeah, I mean, this is kind of the bare bones setup that I went with. And then yeah, you could also opt for cannibalistic right? If you get a different brutal restraint. The only nice thing about this is that, well, one, it's in radius of light of meaning, and then it also gives you a little bit of max mana, right? And stuff like that. Um, so this, that gets converted with your ascendancy point here, right? So it's not bad. I think it's personally better than this one in terms of the points you're getting. I think it's better, and then you can get the 12% mana efficiency going. Also, if you're playing with someone, get a little bit of AOE on your stuff. And this would be a nice setup actually to run as a duo because you're giving them all your auras and all that. Um, yeah. So that's kind of it. And then obviously we have the Mage Blood swap, right? So if we do swap to Mage Blood, then we're obviously looking at almost 1 million armor, right? So you're gonna be way stronger, right? Um, yeah, and then and like yeah, you lose a lot of max life, right? Not a lot, but a little bit, and then you lose some, fire res, but that's whatever because you're also getting what is it? Yeah, additional elemental res, right? And that's getting multiplied by all the increased effect or like yeah. So you're sitting pretty strong. And the obviously Mage Blood, the benefit is the uptime is 100%, right? Like you don't have to click your flasks ever. Um and then you're set, right? I haven't finished qualitying it, but I'm gonna finish qualitying with res quality. Maybe redivine it so that it's, 25 instead of 21 fire res, but I mean, I just went with this because it's already pretty good divine. Um yeah, so obviously the Mage Blood is going to be far superior, but this is kind of the budget option, right? And like I said, like this, well, I don't know, I mean, you're looking at like, yeah, one, well, actually, it's not kind of, okay. Yeah, I mean, like one div maybe for a belt like this, you know, obviously, you can get your suffixes are flexible. Fire res is ideal, but you don't need it. But yeah, I mean, damage is pretty nice, even without Mage Blood. It's, not the fastest thing in the world. Um, Obviously, you're gonna be faster with Mage Blood, and then, I mean, if you wanted to, you could swap this out for something like, you could do Fire Res, and then you'd be over 1 million. But you know, is that worth it? Not probably not. Obviously, you could get 90 res with this maybe, right? And like a melding or something. If you wanted to, but you don't need to because this, right, basically already gives you like insane amount of res, right? If you consider the 12%, basically gives you another 90% damage reduction on top of um whatever whatever your res is giving you, right? Which is already pretty insane. Uh, yeah, you could opt for this wheel too early on, just for some flat armor and the res, right? And then you can grab like uh +1 max all res if you want, if you've got armor. But obviously hybrid or flat evasion is probably gonna be better. Just depending on what rolls you're getting, right? So like this one, you could easily get 1,000 evasion gloves, 1,000 evasion boots. These are pretty close already. This one, yeah, pretty close. But I just kind of went with whatever. This chest piece obviously is not ideal. I mean, it's could be better. You could get something better maybe for Pendiv or whatever, right? And then just roll the implicits again and tempering orbit and all that kind of stuff. Or I mean, tailoring orb, yeah. Yeah, so yeah, pretty nice build, honestly. I was pretty happy with it. It was pretty fun, and honestly, the best part about this is that, you start off and you make your number go up and up and up, and you feel every bit of it, right? The progression is really cool. Um, you just run a Mage Blood map. Where did my just for comparison, right? So yeah, I mean this one is similar enough, right? Um, yeah, it's fine. So yeah, we can run this. Like to make the influence just for comparison. But yeah, I had fun. Um, Basically, I just wanted to get this setup up and running, and yeah, and then get Mage Blood, and kind of that's about it for the league. But I uh, I had fun doing it. Okay, I'm getting hit by stuff, I guess. Um, yeah, I could grab this shrine. I guess if you do like grab the shrine, right? Obviously, you're gonna be Giga. Um, but I'm gonna click it off. Uh, for the comparison. Oh, died. What the heck? I think I'm getting shotgun by the AoE, since the map has like AoE increase. GG. I guess the non-made build version is better, huh? Yeah, I'm taking a lot of damage. Is that the map? I'm not sure. I didn't really look at the mods, I'm not gonna lie. What is it? Oh, it's these stupid boomerang things. They do chaos damage, right? And the AoE, so they're overlapping. And now I can't hit her, so I'm not leeching. Okay, there we go. I'm just dead. Oh, this is not a good showcase, I guess. Yeah, I'm not really sure why I'm dying, actually. What are the mods on this map? Doesn't matter. Oh, maybe, is that killing me? The Fizz Reflect? It shouldn't. Pretty much doing like no Fizz. I have a little bit, maybe. I have so much armor, it should mitigate fine. Yeah, I don't know why I'm dying. But yeah, I mean, obviously damage is good enough, but yeah, obviously if you're stationary, you can have more armor. Uh, Tooltips around 1 million with everything up. Um, yeah, so there's a setup. Do another one maybe. Not sure, or actually, let's just do a simulacrum. Probably better. Uh, yeah, like I said, you can clear simulacrum without too much trouble. Maybe you'll die like once or something at most. But I was never having an issue clearing them with the other setup, the non-mage blood setup. So we'll see how the mage blood setup fares. I feel like I'm taking way more damage, but I shouldn't be. So yeah, I'm not sure. We'll see. See how it goes. Really, it only gets hard like starting like wave like 13 anyway, right? This is like, yeah, again, this is part of the reason why I'm using Balance of Terror, because you know, Abomination map, this map, like, or the Simulacrum, right? They all do this stupid action speed. And there's not really a good way because you don't necessarily want to sacrifice an ascendancy point for the all bloodline, um, right? And yeah, I guess you could flesh flame the Juggernaut, but obviously that's 2 jewel slots, and your jewel slots are kind of important. Now, I guess you could drop this, right? Use that, and then you could maybe just get 3 more points for here, right? Or 4 more points. That'd be doable. Um, yeah, that's probably the best way. And then you could uh, flesh flame the Juggernaut node, unstoppable or whatever, and that would probably be really nice. Otherwise, you could tattoo it, right? And then do that, or you could go for undeniable, get a lot more and then turn off RTE, right? I tried uh testing the what is it called? Non-RT setup, but to be honest, like you don't really like in going for like precise technique and accuracy, but the amount of accuracy you need, like investment you need into accuracy, because you'd need like accuracy suffixes, um, or prefix, whatever. Like you need accuracy lines on your gear, right? And then potentially even a wheel or two on the tree, right? And maybe take like a martial prowess or something. I don't know. I don't think it's worth doing. Like the damage is pretty similar, slightly more, but pretty similar, and then the opportunity cost is like way higher. It's just not worth doing, I think. But yeah, it's been pretty chill. Um, yeah, like I said, you're not unkillable, but you're pretty tanky. Um, yeah. So hopefully, once we get to a higher wave, we can kind of show that off a little bit because yeah, the nightmare map kind of crushed. Maybe it was just the crit because I don't. I mean, I have actually don't have a crit protection because I'm taking plus flat armor for strength, which maybe. I mean, it's not bad, right? Because you are running like almost 600 strength. It's giving you a little bit, right? but I don't know. Maybe it's not worth doing. So you could always opt for that crit reduction instead. I don't know why I'm picking this stuff up. I don't need it. Maybe we get a voices though. I've gotten voice. You can get voices pretty early on. Like even wave 5, I think I dropped voices before. A lot rarer, but it can happen. So yeah, in terms of like farming, I've basically just been doing simulacrum, boss rush. Okay, where's the other? Yeah, yeah, he dies pretty fast. I mean, early on. Um, yeah, simulacrum, boss rush, on abomination. You can try other stuff, but again, like, where is it? Obviously this one's good because minion pack is on here. The only problem is that there's a lot of DOT in this, and it's really annoying because you don't have much in the way of DOT mitigation. The idea is to swap this for Unstoppable Hero, and then you can, take this wheel plus this for 10% damage reduction, right? Um, and in order to do that, you could drop this and this mastery, and get a few more levels, and then put points into here. But other than that, it's not like you have a ton of DOT protection other than the immunities. So some of the DOT on that map is pretty brutal. But again, like the thing, even with the budget version, the thing you have to remember is, and kind of funny, but yeah, don't run map mods that you can't do, right? Like don't run reduced armor, block chance, aura effect. I probably shouldn't have ran that map that I did earlier, right? I didn't really see. I filtered out most of them, so they should all be okay. But yeah, just make sure you're not doing maps that you can't actually run, right? Um, Now with, like I said, with the budget setup, you can go with a little bit more res. You can do a little bit more max res and stuff, and be fine on some of those max res minus max res maps or minus or pen maps. Um, Again, the fizz reflect should not be an issue. Earlier effect, of course, you want to avoid. I'm actually not sure what wave we're on. Probably not too far. Yeah, so those, you see those chaos orbs, they actually did like do some damage, right? But if I'm just face tanking, right, like you don't really take that much damage. Um, I think the only stuff that can kill you is if you get hit by like a ton of crap that you just don't block, or maybe Kosis, right, with his uh, slam. I think with Mage Blood, it's going to be a lot harder to die here, though, because the issue I was running into before in the Simulacrum was sometimes if you're only getting hit by like one boss, right, like if you've cleared all the trash and Kosis is still there, then you might run out of flash charges. So either portal out or just try to get hit, try to like run around and see if more small guys spawn and get hit by them for your charges back. Um, Stand in that one multi-hit attack that Kosis does, and that should give you a bunch of charges too. Or just make sure you're fighting Omni and Kosis at the same time, because otherwise you can run the risk of just running out of charges, and then you're kind of screwed because you lose a ton of damage, right? And a ton of defense too. Um, because your armor is giving you all that damage reduction. Now it should be fine for the most part. Like as long as you have one like of your defensive flask up, it'd be okay. But it is possible to just die, right? Like it is, uh, especially if you haven't blocked recently, right? Because then this doesn't apply, and then you're really, so wave 9. So yeah, not far at all. We'll keep going, but yeah, that's just something to keep in mind with the non-mage blood setup, because you're relying on enemies hitting you. Now you do have unwavering, right? So you can't avoid anything. You're taking iron reflexes, right? So, you are getting hit a lot, but even then your charge up time is still, if you especially on single target, right, bosses and stuff, you can run into that issue of charge sustain, right? Charge sustain. Yeah, so I can see like damage is fine. You know, it's not insane, but yeah, it's just fun, right? If you're looking to armor stack, without spending mirrors upon mirrors, you don't need to with the berserker, and this setup can pretty easily be transferred over to champ, right? Obviously, you'll lose damage because you're only using one dream feather basically, and this one you get two dream feathers plus you get to use something like Paradoxica for the double damage line, the Ellie pen, the attack speed, right? Like those are all good. Um, I just dump crap in here. I don't know why I'm picking up all this stuff in there. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of the gist of it. All right, let's just finish up the simulacrum. Um, yeah, I will say the league start itself is a little bit slow. Obviously, if you wait for a while to swap, you'll probably be better off rather than swapping like day one. Um, and trying to actually league start it basically as much as possible. But you still take a while to come online. Like I would say, you don't really start being tanky and doing damage um, until you get your belt and your flasks in order, right? And that's the main thing. And obviously, you need gem levels too. Uh, so make sure you're leveling your gems for the swap, because if you swap with no gem levels, it's gonna hurt, right? You're gonna do like very low damage. You'll be tanky, right? Especially for normal maps, like you won't really be dying much as long as you're not running like really bad map mods for yourself. You're not going to die much at all in normal maps. In harder content, like you can for sure. Um, nice nut cluster duels. But outside of that, yeah, you should be pretty tanky. Um, but at the same time, like your damage is really dependent on that armor number, as well as you know some other stuff like Val Smite, right, can really give you a big damage boost. Um, Enlighten is huge once you get up that element immunity is really nice too for defenses, right? Um, then you don't have to worry about. The other thing too is like when you're doing simulacrum, you can also just make sure you're not getting completely um swarmed and stuff by just positioning yourself in like some of the narrow parts of the map, right? Especially with Mage Blade, you don't really care about your flask, right? So it's a little bit easier. You don't have to worry about getting your charges back. But if you do get surrounded, like if you're standing here and everything's like spawning in, you could potentially die because you're being hit so much. You're bound to get hit by a bunch of crap and not block or something, and just get smashed. And also, if there's like a ton of chaos damage on the map and you're not chaos or res capped, which you could do, like I'm getting chaos res from that ring, from obviously amulet, and then from boots, right? And that's about it. Like you could get chaos res on another ring, on your gloves, on your chest, right? And you could be much better off. Just cap it out. But honestly, it doesn't matter because not a lot of stuff does chaos damage anyway. I mean, yeah, in your maps you can get like the Viz extra and same on the simulacrum, and then of course like the caustic ores and all this crap, which can definitely kill you. You gotta be careful about that. See, like, if you stand here as opposed to over there, you're getting hit by a lot less stuff, right? So just, be smart about it. Yeah, cast your temporal chains whenever your character's getting slowed and stuff, and then you're chill. Yeah, it's pretty much, one button, movement skills. You can click level 20 different nation. Yeah, that's kind of nice, actually. I should actually give a little bit more, right? Yeah, nice. Free level 21 determination. Nice. The other thing I was doing for currency, by the way, pick that up by now, is jewel crafting. Jewel crafting is really nice. Early league, especially, right? Everyone wants whoa, ton of chaos damage. Yeah, if you get shotgun by like a lot of crap, and you're bound to not block because you're not lucky block, right? So yeah, just be aware of that. You can get lucky block on this setup, by the way, and you'd probably be kind of insanely tanky. Um, yeah, the what I'm running is adrenaline, right? So like, I don't have it up right now, but if you drop low, you get healed, you get adrenaline. It's pretty nice for rippy content because it does help you survive a little bit, and then it gives you a little bit more damage. But honestly, anything works. There's the champ aura node. There's basically what you want is unstoppable, right? Or a hero. So I've basically been trying to tattoo duelist tattoos on here. I started out with just I think it was the freaking retaliate node. It did literally nothing, and then I rolled on the taunt on hit one, which is nice because it's just 15% increased damage taken because you're always taunting stuff. Even with RT, right? Like I know it also makes it so that you don't hit stuff, but you don't necessarily care about that because you need to hit something once in order to taunt it, right? So you don't want to rely on that necessarily. Um, it's still better to run RT, I think, even if you have that, because you're not scaling crit anyway. And just making sure that you're basically never missing. Yeah, so this is higher level coast. You can see it hits a lot harder. I think that proc my adrenaline maybe. Yeah, that's the other thing too. Um, if you're running the adrenaline tattoo, make sure you grab this kind of as low life at 55% max life, right? So you proc it a lot more often, right? Because it only procs when you go on low life. So that's the other thing to consider. Um, so small adjustments for tattoos and stuff like that. Obviously, we're not going to have those in the next league, but yeah, I probably won't start. Oh, is that nice? The personality. Um, yeah, I probably won't league start this. Uh, at least like a day one stuff, right? Like I would probably swap to it maybe on champ a little bit later, like once you actually have either mage blood or like have all the pieces you want, right? Because it's just a little rough in those first few days when you don't have like your six link, you don't have all the perfect flasks or anything, right? You don't have the anoint maybe, there's a lot of little things that you might not have at the start that would kind of I'm picking up this map. Uh, that would be, kind of annoying to deal with in the beginning, right? Now, don't get me wrong, like you can do your quests. I did all the quests like dread and stuff is no problem. Like you might die once or twice, but like it's fine, right? You can clear them. You can clear Eater Exarch, no problem. Um, it just might take you a little bit longer, right? Um, because you're just lower damage, right, in the beginning. Now, you're a little tanky, so you can actually live some hits, and you have block too, so you can like block stuff. Um, so Eater is pretty easy, because of that. Exarch's a little annoying on the ball phase, right? Because if you were now, I saw a setup, so you can do like the offhand Monastery Bell, I think it's called, right? Setup with this, so that you always have the block, right? Because then like your hits, and then hit like a Hydrosphere, right? So that you're always like your hits count as blocking recently, right? Um, and that would be fine. But yeah, the ball phase, for example, when you haven't blocked recently, you're probably gonna die if you get hit by more than one. So that's a huge downside to the defense, right? Because again, the single target, it relies on you having blocked recently, right? And if you haven't, like during those iframes and I mean I immunity phases and stuff, like that Costa Slam almost killed me, right? Probably because I didn't block it. Um, but it didn't. It didn't. The important thing. What is it? Oh, always with these like one dude left. Nice. And over here. You also want to make sure you're not running like can't leech or something, right? Because your mana, like if you can see, like even without hitting something, like I can cast a couple of times without it, but like yeah, you kind of need mana leech on this setup. Unfortunately, this is what it is. I don't know why I'm picking this stuff up. Yeah, let's try to fight them both at the same time now. I don't know why, but I do feel a lot less tanky with the Mage Blood setup, which is kind of interesting. I feel like I'm taking a lot more damage. And I only have about 200 less life, so that doesn't really make sense. Actually, it's more like 300, I think. Oh, standing in the DOT there. Yeah, as you can see, the DOT is really annoying. If you're not leeching or something, then you're just gonna get, yeah, farted on, basically. Oh yeah, let me actually use some of this stuff. Pop my tincture too, I guess. Yeah, if you want to like micromanage all this stuff, you can. But I haven't even been pressing my tincture at all, really, or my Val Smite. But you can definitely up your damage by doing that, right? Force speed level 21. And people want that for Tota. Where'd it go? And you probably need the quality. It's probably trash. Okay, well, yeah, there's Simulacrum, right? Like we cleared it without dying. We got close, but fine. And again, like it doesn't look that much different without Mage Blood, right? Like yeah, your damage is maybe a little bit lower, but it's really not that much lower. And then of course you just have to make sure you're just gonna have to micromanage your flasks a little bit because sometimes they won't proc, right? Because they're not reaching full, but you want to make sure you have them up as much as possible, so you might have to press them a couple times. Especially against the bosses, right? Because there's less trash hitting you, so you're not getting as many charges, and Omni especially doesn't hit you that often, and same with Kosis has like one attack that hits you a bunch of times, which is nice, and so does Omniphobia. He's got that one like spit attack, right? But if it's like just one of them, then yeah, you might have some charge problems. So yeah, overall, kind of fun, right? Nothing insane, but yeah, I mean, your damage is pretty good, and the investment is pretty low, right? You don't need Mage Blood. You can run with this setup, right? Just use one reach full and 3 charges on hit, right? You'll sustain pretty well, plus some micro distillery belts. So, you know, it's basically just pseudo mage blood. It's obviously not as strong, but yeah, it's good enough. And honestly, like I said, I felt a little bit tankier before. Um, Now I wasn't really paying attention to the mods in it or anything, but yeah. The other option is you could get like a blood scent cluster drop this point, right? So maybe Smite the Weak, you get like blood scent on a jewel, then you what is it called? Mist, like the delirium, mirage delirium mist thingy. What is it called? Refracting fog onto one of these shield jewels, into one of these shield jewels, and then you can or yeah, honestly anything. And then get one that has like British defense, and then just go for like a feed furies set, you know, situation or whatever, right? Like you don't need smite the weak here. It doesn't really do a whole lot for you. Um, but yeah, that's kind of all you need. And again, these small clusters are not even min max, right? Like this one does have 25% increase effect. You don't need it. Actually, you might for purity of elements. It might be a little annoying if you don't have one cluster with 25% increased effect. But honestly, it's really easy to get. Basically, you just, yeah, you alt spam for introspection, right? Introspection is a prefix, so you just alt spam. So you can't get the 20% increase like from the alt spam, but then you just, you know, regal exalt, whatever, right? Um, and then you just do that until you get it. It doesn't take too long. Um, yeah, basically all of my clusters I crafted myself. I didn't buy them. You can buy the base, obviously. Um, Same with the clusters you want. I think for the shield one, like I think 75 is fine. You don't you might want 85 because I think that's how you, or is it 84? For riot color could also be not bad. But it doesn't really matter. Like the produce defense is just nice because then you don't have to take like extra block nodes or something, right? You really only need like this, and this. This is nice for endurance charges, right? It's also in range of the light of meaning. Um, yeah, and then you get the spell block chance here. More block chance. These are like non-negotiable. This one, maybe if you get like perfect clusters, right? You could drop that wheel. If you get like another block cluster thing, it might be okay. Or maybe you could even just do like a 2 points and drop and get an extra point there. Uh, oh shoot, getting close. Um, but yeah, I think that's kind of everything. I just kind of wanted to document it, you know, doing this because I don't know who else is doing this kind of setup, you know. I think Foulborn Anticipation really makes this possible and on from a defense point of view. It's also nice because it gives you Intimidate, right? And it also has decent armor and a little bit of max life too. So yeah, it's a really solid shield, and it pretty much solves your LE max hit for you, right? And it also, you know, it gives you block, right? So it's huge. Like this is such an insanely good defensive pair with the armor stacking, right? And again, this is valuable even at like 100k armor. This is giving you a ton, right? This is really strong. This 12%. And now the other thing too is that you can get there's a mod you can get from the let me go back to that. I don't remember what it's called. The essence, the one of the new essences. It's this one. But yeah, shield. 4% of armor applies to fire, cold, lightning damage from hits if you block recently. It's basically the same thing as this mod. It's just 4%, which when you're at this amount of armor, it doesn't matter. It's the same. Like 4% will be more than enough. So you could easily craft like a Giga Evasion shield, right? um, with that mod on it, and it would be insane. But this is pretty cheap. I mean, if you if you get one that's not perfect, it's really cheap. And if you want a perfect one, well, it might be 1 div or something, but that's not, it's not much. And honestly, you can also just SSF this, right? You could just go to the tree and print this. Same with Foulborn Formless Flame. This is not a very uncommon unique, right? Both of these are pretty common, right? And this one you can even target even harder because you can select the breach specific unique options, right? So this one's pretty easy to target farm. This one is also not bad, right? It's got only strength requirement, or no, it doesn't have a requirement, does it? Anyway, it's pretty common basically, right? Um, so you can easily get that. Obviously, a lot of my gear I can upgrade. You can obviously go for a focused amulet for like insane damage. Again, the only issue is the what's it called? Attribute requirements, right? So, that's the only thing that this gives you so many attributes in Chaos Res. I've just kept it, right? Like, yeah, you could also do like Ashes, right? The Ashes of the Stars amulet, which is a huge damage boost because it gives you, levels and then quality, extra quality on everything. So it's like way more damage, but it doesn't give you Chaos Res, right? It doesn't give you as much in the way of all attributes. It also doesn't give you aura effect. So this is pretty nice. I think a All's Uprising with Wrath on it would be fine because it gives you int as well, right? But you do lose the Chaos Res and the aura effect, right? So, and honestly, like you don't need it because um obviously you have enough reservation efficiency to run, all these four auras, which is really all you care about. Um, there is a world where you could run some more defensive auras like Tempest Shield or what else? Like Flesh and Stone, maybe. Stuff like that could be doable with the All's Amulet, right? Or even just um, not using Purity of Elements, right? In favor of one of those. But I mean, this is pretty nice because it just gives you ailment immunity, right? Elemental ailment immunity, and then it gives you overcap fire res, right? So, and it just makes gearing easier. Like theoretically, like I'm way over on cold and lightning. I don't need suffixes, right? If I wanted to, I could get more attributes. I could go for more strength. I could solve my int issue by getting int on some suffixes in favor of res, right? So yeah, there are a lot of min-max options, but you know, I think for like a casual, low budget kind of setup, this is pretty nice. Um, again, I'm referring to like without Mage Blood, and yeah, I mean Mage Blood's not too hard to farm for, right? It's like I think I got mine for like 170 Dave or something. Mage Blood, Uncorrupted. Yeah, 170 if you're looking for, a little bit of better fire res. Yeah, I mean you can get one for less than 170, right? So it's not too bad. And again, you can farm for that with this setup, no problem, with the distillery belt. So pretty nice overall. Um, yeah, I mean, not bad. I had fun playing this mini event. I had never played the original Tota, so although I gotta say I don't think Tota is for me. It's not really my cup of tea, but yeah, and obviously I didn't. My build is not good for Tota, but yeah, it's been cool. I just wanted to kind of document that and just yeah, I thought it'd be fun. That's kind of what I had in mind as soon as I saw the tattoo setup with Berserker. Obviously, it's kind of a no-brainer getting to use this node, right? Um, why don't I go ahead? I'm gonna roll, see if I can get a better tattoo actually. Let me I do my crap. Just gonna clean up my stuff real quick and then and do that. Oops. Look at these clusters in a minute. Yeah, also don't forget like you can always get 21 21 21, which I probably should do. I just haven't bothered yet. Um and then of course you can always get what I've been trying to do is get the corrupt. I've been trying to self-corrupt it because there wasn't one on the market, but there might be one now. I'm not sure. It was probably expensive though. For the for AoE +2 AoE levels, AoE gem levels, uh which would probably be the best, right? Because then you get levels on these, which is great because you know Wrath is your flat. The other thing too, yeah, and then Grace Determination, right? These are huge. The other thing too is that you can get a another option for this jewel spot is what is it? Watcher's Eye, right? With crit or and like Lightning Pen, right? With the Wrath. When you have Wrath, you can get Lightning Pen, you can get crit or what's another good one for armor? There's a couple other good ones for armor. You could also get the Chaos Res, Purity one, right? Uh, probably I would say probably Lightning Pen Wrath is the go-to, unless you're doing invert the rules setup, in which case like it's not as important. But yeah, this is obviously very flexible. I would probably say if you just don't want to think too hard and just go with a Bobhorn Blue Nightmare with the Lucky Lightning damage, that's probably just the most damage you're gonna get. But if you want something a little bit more hybrid, like defense offense, then a Watcher's Eye would be great. So you can get crit. You could get crit immunity if you wanted to, or a little bit more armor, or something like that. But obviously, those might be a little expensive to get the nice combos and everything. Yeah, I mean, 15% lightning pen with the rat is not bad. And then, like, if you get something else that's good on top of that, right? You could get something for grace or you know purity of elements, right? Like, it doesn't really matter. Whatever is useful. But yeah, that's kind of the gist. Let's see. This is not bad at all, actually. Yeah, you just adjust the price later. Who knows? Um. Oh yeah, I was gonna do the tattoos. All right, let's try it. Let's see what we get. So this one is good. It's obviously not perfect or anything, but basically you just want to cover up this so you can actually use your auras, right? I mean, yeah. So master metal distance completely useless. Um, Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really this doesn't much for me either. It's not bad. Astral form. I mean, it's good, but like you'd have to change your setup a lot. Probably not gonna get what I. Oh, there it is. Just like that. Just like that, we get unstoppable hero. Um. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and refund some of these points. So I can get more max sport. Yikes, my max life is looking a little rough. That's actually huge. Holy. Because this is both more armor and evasion and attack speed, right? Obviously, you need max fortification. So the way you get more max fortification is, of course, this wheel, right? You get 6. Then you can get crafted mod on your chest for +7 when you're focused, right? And then you can, just press focus. Uh, the other thing is, of course, you can get celestial brace, but you lose your gloves. Um, which I don't know if it's worth doing that. Um, probably would be higher damage, but and these gloves aren't perfect by any means, right? They're like definitely low evasion. But you're getting a ton of fire res, you're getting some attack speed, right? I mean you get a lot of attack speed from your max sport, so it's kind of irrelevant. But yeah, you lose lightning pen, you lose additional strikes, right? The flat damage is kind of whatever, it doesn't matter. Like these gloves are by no means good, but yeah, that's kind of huge. Are there any other points I can drop? I guess I could drop it. No, but that gives me a lot. This one's giving me a lot of strength. Nice. Can I drop this? I can't. Nice. Just over. Cool. Um, and I guess I could drop an additional strike because I have one here. Do I have any orbs? I don't think I do. I think I sold them all. Yeah, I don't have it. So I could do that. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I dropped the additional strike. You don't really need 3. I'm gonna do that, I think, for now. Boom. So now I've got +6 max sport, which is gonna give me, a bunch more evasion armor. Kind of curious now. Uh, and then of course you could always go for 10% damage reduction when you have 24, which you get fortification really easily with this. The other nice thing about this ascendancy is it gives you a percent increased strength and some increased armor as well. Not that it's like a lot, but the strength is kind of nice, right? Like that's how you're so like literally I'm taking not that many strength nodes, right? Like your pathing nodes, this is strength, right? There's a couple, and then this wheel here. But I'm still getting quite a bit of strength without too much effort, which is nice, right? Because you get some flat armor from it. Get right, but it's not that important. So don't go out of your way to get strength, right? Like this strength roll and boots doesn't need to be there. For example, The other thing is you can always go awakened or greater ancestral call, right? That that is always good for solving your strikes, range and targets. Cool. And of course, greater multi-strike too, which I haven't done yet. I just haven't been playing as much, so I don't have as much currency. Yeah, I'd probably drop play damage or awaken ancestral call or greater ancestral call, whatever. And you can go opt for invert the rules too. Especially now with this attack speed, right? You'll have more attack speed, so you'll be hitting more often. So it's a little bit better. And that would let you not care as much about pen. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and sell this. I don't need it. This is exactly what I was trying to hit. So, yeah, why not? Well, let's try to run another map. I'm gonna do a nightmare map though. I want to have to do. Let's see. So should be fine, right? Actually, might not want to do less AoE because yeah, that could be a little annoying. I'm just gonna whatever. It's actually kind of good actually because then it shows you what the clear is like with only 2 strikes or like pretty low clear setup. Honestly, just get the solution here is just to get the additional strike from your gloves. Like just what is it called? Conflict orbit. See, I'm already at 26. And as you can see, like already my attack speed is much higher, right? And my armor is huh? Oh, freaking turn my auras off, dude. I'm stupid. Wait. Yeah. Okay, now we're chilling. 1 million. Let's see. So it's at 1 million now. Yeah, 1 point. This is not stationary, right? So I can hit 1 million not stationary, which is pretty big because before I wasn't even hitting, I was hitting like what, 800 stationary? Now it's like, yeah. I mean, the clear obviously is not good with 2 strikes, but it's fine. I mean, yeah, you don't really just depends on the content, right? If you want more clear, you can opt for more clear. It's fine. Probably should have held on to my conflict orbs. I didn't really think about that. Can I live these now? I mean, I think I blocked that. I'm a bad. See, now I'm at 1 million, 1.1 million, almost 1.2 million, which is pretty substantial. And so I'm doing quite a bit of damage. Yeah, that's pretty nice. And this is without Tincture and without Valsmite. And I'm not double hitting here, I think. It's kind of hard to tell. I'm definitely not double hitting there. Can I get a double hit? Here we go. Yeah, the damage is good if you're double hitting, right? Smite. And I mean the reason for smite is you wanna, right, you're already scaling aura effect. No, it's not as big a deal because when you Val Smite, right, it only counts your Val Smite. But like I don't they don't double up or anything. But yeah, you're already scaling aura effect and smite gives you aura, right? And it also gives flat damage. So you don't need to care as much about flat damage, right? Which is why you can run stuff like Paradoxica because you have Wrath and Smite giving you a lot of flat damage. Um, yeah, you have a little bit of flat damage from other sources too, but like this ring and this glove, but like not barely anything, right? But yeah, Wrath is giving you, by default 16 to 248, and then of course you have all your aura scaling on top of that. Same with Smite, right? Smite's giving you 12 to 20, but also that's an aura, so gets scaled with your aura effect. And then if you Val Smite, you get a little bit 100% or 100 flat on top of that, right? On the top end, right? So that's another reason why I mean lucky lightning damage would be so good. I can actually check what that price is right now. It was like 4 div before, so it's not expensive. Yeah, 500 chaos, 600 chaos. What, like 2 div or something? Yeah, you can get it for 2 div. Yeah, there's some listed for 2 div. So yeah, you get 2 div for like pretty big damage buff. Yeah, it's more like it's not. I mean, it's not crazy, but it's good. Like this is just for QL, literally. Um, so don't bother with the balance of terror unless you're running stuff where you want the action speed immunity. Um, and because I was just getting tired of the action speed slow, it was really annoying. So yeah, I just decided to buy that, and it was like what, like 3 div or something. So not at the time it was basically the same price as the Blue Nightmare, and I just opted for this for QOL. Yeah, you can easily go grab a Blue Nightmare. You can also self farm the Blue Nightmare. It's rare, but it's not that rare. There are, I mean, the other option too is that you could run Fortify Jewel and go for like cast damage or 15 max rage or something like that. Because unfortunately, you can't get this. This would be insane if you could grab this as well as uh everything else that you're grabbing. Like honestly, if you didn't have to take this point doesn't do that much for you. Um, if you could just take like 1, 2, and then take this would be crazy. This would be so good. Um, because you get 10 max sport, which is insane with this, and you also get more attack speed. Um, you know, on top of already getting 3%, so you get 4%, right? Pretty nice. Or of course, if you're running Celestial Brace, you can also drop this, right? Because that also has melee hits fortified. Gives you a little bit of regen, but it's actually not bad regen either, but like it's not too bad. It's okay. Um it's nothing crazy. Like it's not worth this point by any means. But yeah, unfortunately we can't click this. Because that would be pretty nice. But yeah, you don't need it. As you saw, like you're pretty much always at max force stacks with the melee hits fortify, right? If you hit a couple targets, you're at max, right? Even in single target, it takes like very short amount of time to ramp. Yeah, I do wish Fortunately, I'm pretty fresh out of currency. But I mean, maybe some of these are worth anything. I don't actually. Doesn't look like it. Yeah. Okay. Maybe we get lucky. One Valor. Insane luck. I can just farm up some more currency pretty quick. It's not a big deal. Conflicts are a little expensive though now. But yeah, it's definitely good to try to get 2 strikes. Yeah, they're a little pricey. You can always farm them too by doing like synth rotas or whatever, maybe in rotas or something. Uh, yeah, that definitely feels pretty good. I pretty much did everything because I wanted to get this tattoo. I mean, that was kind of the goal, and then run this setup, right? So, and then Mage Blood and everything. So yeah, I'm pretty much done. I think. Probably won't play much more. Might just play for fun, you know. Just do something, maybe try to kill some Ubers or something, because I think I can do that with the setup. My life pool is a little low though. Might try to if I get max life, if I could trade that flat roll for max life, or even the evasion, the flat evasion's not really doing that much. It's only 100. Yeah. Might try to do that. Fortunately, I can't just Calandra's touch this because I'll lose all my chaos res. This give me a ton of chaos res. It's also give me so much fire res. Like getting a comparable ring would be oh say that, yeah. Uh yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I would probably have to try to craft it myself, just like spamming. Um Fire essence or something, which is doable. That's how I got this one. I just had the fractured life and then essence spam with the one fire essence. Forget what it's anger. Was that it? No, no, I didn't. No, I did int essence. That's right, because I needed an int on this ring. Pretty. I can just check. I don't know why I'm questioning. What did that actually show me? I'm pretty sure it was int essence. Yeah, in essence spam. Hope for empty prefix. Max mana roll is a little pointless too. Right. Yeah, but pretty sick. I think, getting a corrupt on here would definitely be an upgrade. Obviously, you could craft a Giga Shield, but honestly, I don't really think it matters too much. Like, yeah, you probably get maybe like 50% increase your defense roll. You could probably get, some other nice. You could get fire res. You can get, a couple other stuff. Really, it would be more damage, but it's not like it's super necessary, right? Like this does a really good job. It's got, you know, this isn't even that it's pretty good actually on the Sacred Orb roll. I didn't actually Sacred Orb it, but you could a little bit more flat. And then yeah, I mean it's got Intimidate on block, which is nice. Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, you know, if you really want to min-max it and put that, obviously you can craft the perfect clusters. I think You could also potentially drop Resolute Technique. I just don't think it's worth it. Like the damage is pretty comparable between RT and Precise Technique. Of course, you could run both, but the the amount of accuracy you need to invest is quite a lot, actually. You probably need to grab at least like this wheel. It's probably better because it gives you res, right? This one is crit, which you can't crit anyway if you're running RT or PT. So yeah, I mean, this is a bunch of points plus the flat accuracy, right? Or +3 per dex, depending on which one's giving you more. Probably, I'm assuming the +500 accuracy would give you more at this point because I don't have. Well, I have a good amount of dex actually, so maybe I'm not sure. You just have to run that, and then so that's pretty big downside. I mean, you could just drop RT and then click these two for the same points, but then you need to come up with these points. I don't know. It's a little scuffed, I think. Um, yeah, the damage is pretty much the same, if not better with RT, and also just the like it's literally 2 points. You don't have to think about accuracy at all, right? So I have like no accuracy anywhere. You can you know, not yeah, just not care about it. It's just much better. Uh yeah, I think if I do get another point, if I do get some more levels, I'll probably pick up the DOT reduction, mastery here. Maybe get the strike back. If I don't get it on the gloves, I should probably just get on the gloves. You honestly don't need this cluster either. I'm just clicking it because strike range feels good. And yeah, I mean it doesn't give you that much value. Honestly, it's probably better for me to click this and drop these 2 points. And then you could drop this one for I mean, not really anything better. Maybe this. Probably a little bit better value. Um or just click the that thing. I should probably do that actually. Yeah, I'll probably do that. 5 points. Yeah. Uh, yeah, probably better. There's no reason to click this without like really the only reason why you click this wheel is for the strike. Yeah, this is just better, I think. Pretty sure this is better value than yeah, because it's giving me 12 plus 7 plus 4 basically, right? Which is more than just 19. It's actually doubling up evasion and armor. Yeah. Perfect. Okay, cool. And then I get a little more max life back too. Nice. All right. That works. Yeah, in a hideout, almost 1 million armor. Kind of crazy. That's no fortification. Uh, yeah. All right. Yeah, I'll probably conflict this. Hopefully, drop this in here. I just like to keep all my stuff together. That I have like a little capsule of all the stuff I've used. You could try Reeve of Refraction. It could be cool. This one you don't need to index into strike stuff at all because it's not a strike, right? Um, but it does have more effectiveness, right? Like damage effectiveness, but it doesn't scale with your auras. I'm not sure if this would be good. I also need to recolor my links, which should be a pain. Man. Getting this five red, one blue is kind of annoying on a dex strength base, hybrid base. I'd rather just get a new chess piece at that point. Which I could definitely do. And then I could actually tailor more of it. I saw it. 30, come on. What the? No way. Yeah, this league's economy is all kinds of whack because people just don't care about a lot of this stuff, right? How much is this? It's probably worth something. I just want to get a conflict. 40. What the heck? A bunch of scarabs I could probably sell. What could they be? Like, but yeah, could try Reeve. I don't know. Could be cool. It's kind of a cool skill. I just don't have to recolor my stuff. And again, I feel like Smite's just better because it scales with your aura stuff too. It's so hard to not use Smite on armor stacker, right? Like, and Smite does like the double hit and everything, so you can get some pretty nice single target damage too. Yeah, it could be good. Could be good. I think you would probably want to get invert the rules though, instead of a lightning pen. Um, for this. Just to, I mean, you don't do much fizz damage anyway, if any. I don't think it's 100% converted, but yeah. Anyway, you're pretty much doing almost no fizz because like you know, paradoxically gives you like barely any. But either way, it just yeah, I don't know. I mean, Smite's just nice because it gives you flat and deals with your aura effect, right? Yeah. Not sure these aren't worth anything. I think it's probably worth something though. I don't need it. Yeah, nobody's buying them though. I feel like people probably pretty much stopped after they announced the next league coming out. But yeah, overall pretty cool. I might just do another simulacrum. Why not? Actually, I don't think I have time for that. All right. Yeah, that's about it. I'm pretty much done. Pretty much got the character where I wanted to. Um, yeah. That's about it. Pretty cool. Uh, over 1 million armor on this guy. Can clear most content. Honestly, might even be able to do some Valdos, like some of the easier ones. Maybe, maybe, maybe. I don't know. Try. Actually, I want to try that real quick. Let's see. Back filter. It's an easy one. Like Light of Ming's pretty easy. Valdos. Haunted Mansion. It'll probably be easy, but it's kind of the feared one. Okay, that's kind of expensive. What the heck? Hey, this isn't even the. Oh, yeah. Okay. Uh, I can't even. I don't know. I don't have a good one to do off the top of my head. But it might be able to do like one of those easier ones. Honestly, I think it could. Might be a little tough actually. The shaper beam might kind of destroy you. Uh, Everything else should be fine. You might also need to take Molten Shell off cast when damage taken, so you can actually block stuff with it. Yeah. Oh, got something. Yeah, I can get one conflict. What is that? What is that spread is insane. That's like 115. I sold a bunch earlier. I probably should have held on to those. All right, whatever. I'll do it later. I might make another video with just some other stuff if I ever think about it. But yeah, I'm about done though. All right. Yeah, I just wanted to document this again and so I could look back on it and like, oh, that was cool. Um, yeah, I didn't do anything for PoE 2 0.5 because I didn't really do anything interesting. Just played Monk, Hollow Form Monk, and then Auto Bomber Strength Stack build. So nothing other people weren't doing, you know. Um, I can look to see who else is doing this Armor Stacker Berserker setup, or Behemoth setup. I mean, let's see. Hollows. Armor. Uh, Am I updated? Yeah, it is. There's people doing it, yeah. Home strike, a strength stack, stacking Joe. Yeah, yes, he's got a simplex. What a weird one. What the heck? Yeah, strength stacking, I guess. I mean, with Albrons, yeah, for flat. It's got a lot of armor though for undeniable, yeah. I wonder. I mean, I get it's really just all coming from Mage Blood in the earpieces, right? Because he's not. Yeah, I mean, he's just getting his flat from Alberons. It's probably smarter, honestly. Definitely stronger build for sure. But just way more damage. This is weird though. 12, 12, 12, 90. Here. HP is not bad. I think it's way more than this though. Because for some reason this doesn't say I have max lighting res, even though I do. Not sure why that is. Um, yeah, kind of strange. Also, this armor number is obviously wrong. Dude, Ninja's a little scuffed, but I don't know if anyone else is using. Where is I wonder if anyone's using Valborn Anticipation. Valborn Formless. Let's see. On armor. Because he's using a Dream Feather, and he doesn't have Mage Blood. He has more. He's got yeah. Okay. Pretty nasty ring right here. Yeah, it's good. He's got Ashes too. Yeah, that'll be more damage. This guy. Oh, he's stacking light. Yeah, interesting. I guess it makes sense. He's okay. He's stacking fire res and life basically. He's got red dream, right? Fire res, getting a bunch of fire res. He's got this, which also gives evasion rating max life, right? Yeah, so he's giving a bunch of armor from that. That's kind of cool. Huge life simplex. This ring's kind of very nice, actually. Yeah, it's pretty good. Cleansing water. Interesting. Oh, he's doing Cyclone Shockwave. That's cool. But where's he getting his flat from? Oh, yeah, the Grey Wing, the. This guy's also doing Smite. Oh, yeah, this guy's doing the same setup as me. See, he's got all his Uprising. And he has a Unbreakable. Cool. I think I definitely have more armor than this guy, though. Probably roll that. I need a better chest piece for sure. Mine's not that good. Mine doesn't even have a 3k evasion. Pretty low evasion, actually. Doesn't have any good flat. It's just one that I've had for a while and I just didn't bother changing it. All right. Well, I'm done.